Hello. Yes, there is another anti-capitalist video this month, despite the tons of work I've been doing and still need to do. I realize I've been rather slow since the start of the month, given that we are still in Operation Winter Storm Vengeance, but with the holidays, plus my recent bout with the flu, plus the 10 best and worst of lists, plus the intensification of crypto scamming, plus YouTube pushing conservative and neoliberal pundits and news channels, plus my new day job, the workload has been rather taxing, as you can imagine. Now moving on to this. Right quick at the beginning of the video, I do want to take the chance to once again thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. We hit that right as the 10 best metal songs of 2022 was in the editing process. I have started my Patreon, to which a link will be provided in the description. I originally wanted to make it just an individual donation-based thing because I think monthly contributions are the last thing people want to pay with all other bills going through the roof. But I don't think Patreon lets you just make one donation, which sucks. But my one and only tier is set to the cheapest Patreon recommends, which is $3 a month. So if you feel that I'm worth your $3 a month, I would highly appreciate your contribution. Plus you'll get a shout out. Benefits include an occasional exclusive video, 24-hour early access to videos posted to the main channel, the occasional artwork, yes, I'm getting into art now, and I'll also soon be making music exclusive to monthly contributors. There is a catch to the early access benefit though. Early access only covers videos that will be posted on Thursdays, which is usually when I upload videos during the week. Perhaps with 2,000 subscribers, I'll consider extending that to all videos posted to the channel. Once again, I highly appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to be a quadruple digits channel, and I also appreciate you guys holding the line for me while I've been busy. Now then, let's start the video. "11 months ago today, I got fired from Walmart, and ever since then, it's been a downward spiral for me and my family. I've fallen into a massive amount of debt without having even gone to university, and yet it seems like going to trade school and accumulating some tuition to go with that debt is becoming the only real option for me to see any sort of meaningful change to my financial situation. Although it seems that the people hunting my wallet have given up on trying to squeeze me for money, but even if collections were to check in on me, I still don't have any money to fork over to the corporations that gave me phone data and car insurance. I've revealed on my Instagram that our landlord nearly evicted us on December 30th after we failed to come up with back rent of $200. My entire family is moneyless. We've been lucky to be allowed to freeload and not pay rent while our socioeconomic status decays, and we've only been able to do that because our landlord is a relative of mine through my father, although we're not the only family that has been allowed to freeload under her. But in what could only be described as a betrayal, and as I implied last month, the elite shooting their own family in the foot in the name of profit, our landlord not only cut off assistance, but raised the rent on us. I once again had to bother my mother for a handout when even she is already bogged down financially. And while her help, for which I am grateful, did allow us to keep a roof over our heads for an extra month, it may very well have been for nothing. We were already paying $700 a month for a 5-room townhouse that isn't even meant to house us three, me, my brother, and my father. And as of this month, we are paying an extra $100. I don't understand where our landlord thinks we are getting money, because we have nothing. My new job doesn't even pay as much as my old deli job, despite being a higher wage. I'm working for $9 an hour, but getting only 10-ish hours a week on average. I'm bringing home only $75 a week, which translates to $300 a month, which doesn't even add up to half of what my rent is. My dad can't find a fucking job. He picked up something briefly in the autumn that he enjoyed doing, but some cunt fuck decided it would be a swell idea to ruin that for him by lying to the DM that he was stealing. Great. So we ended up without a Christmas, my brother ended up without a birthday, and my birthday, which is in 2 days when you guys see this, might even be out of the question as well. But if my landlord thinks I'll be paying all my wages plus another $500 that I just so happen to find every month towards rent, they are sorely mistaken, because not only am I not going to be able to fucking afford that with my current job, but the place we've been stuck with for the past 5 years is not worth $800 a month. Hell, they were lucky getting us to pay $700 a month, but with the way things have been going since last year, you're a fucking fool if you think we're going to pay that. I'm spending my money the way I see fit, so you might as well send the eviction notice. You knew exactly what we were dealing with and what was coming up, you sick fuck. Most of our income comes from food stamps. That's not money we can use to pay rent with. It has to be used purchasing food. The whole situation also has my father pissed off with our landlord, and we're talking about moving out as soon as we can afford to. Perhaps we'll be able to find a place for rent, for which we will only have to pay a certain amount of our income, though hopefully not 225%. And for a little piece of shit place with only 2 bedrooms and 1 restroom between 3 people and no clean tap water, and a fucking sinkhole. I'm not even joking about that. There is a literal sinkhole forming under our house that's fucking up the floor. The place I currently live in is not worth $800 a month, and our landlord will be lucky to house someone else in this shithole ever again. So I have a low-paying job as a cashier, my dad can't find a job, and I almost think my brother isn't even going to bother with it because he knows he'll be busting his ass for nothing, and I don't blame him. There's no fucking point in working anymore. I'm a very ambiguous example of a single income, and I can't even keep a roof over my family's head. What was the point? Seriously, what was the point of me looking for a job if after I finally succeed, I'm still going to end up homeless? I'm surprised there aren't more fucking people on the streets or in shelters or under bridges or by the river outside of town. I'm surprised there isn't an entire commune of people right outside of town forming their own society that doesn't punish the less fortunate for being less fortunate. Oh yeah, sure, I can just film my videos out in the woods. Sure, I can use McDonald's Wi-Fi to upload videos. Sure, I can use my wage money and food stamps to buy food and store it at my grandmother's place, but I shouldn't need to fucking do that. I shouldn't need to form or join a homeless commune or go to a shelter. Hell, I shouldn't even need food stamps. 60 years ago, a single income would allow you to buy a house and take care of 3 other people, and now you can't hardly afford to feed yourself, even with government assistance on top of it. That's another thing. The corporations that refuse to pay us more than a homelessness wage and treat us like shit, and then have the nerve to speak lowly of unions, saying they'll make you pay $700 a year, as if it's some exorbitant expense. Are you fucking joking? I'm paying $9,600 a year in rent, but unions are bad because they'll make you pay an extra 7%, conveniently leaving out the fact that unionized workers are paid much higher than non-union workers. I'm not talking about $1 more, I'm talking more like $5 to $10 more. You only talk shit on unions because they're bad for your bottom line, not ours. The only reason prices might go up in a unionized workplace is from price gouging, not inflation, as the company attempts to keep increasing their profits. The government, which takes over half of what we're supposed to get, calling this theft of our wages income tax, as if we don't already pay enough, only for most of it to be spent on the military and the police state. Do they operate in the mindset that since the rich get around paying taxes with loopholes, that the working people have to make that up? What else do you want from me? Do you want my personal belongings? Do you want the food on my table? Do you want my soul? It's never enough, is it? Let me tell you all something about income tax, and this is something that I had confirmed for myself pretty recently. I thought something was weird when I was only getting $160 a week out of my minimum wage deli job despite putting in 35-hour weeks. Do that math right quick. $725 times 35 should equal $253.75, right? Where's the other $90 going? Well, if you needed it explained to you like I did, that $90 is taken by the government as what is known as income tax, but personally I think it's a form of state-sanctioned theft, only it seems to have gotten worse lately. In my first couple of weeks working at my new job, I worked 13 hours, and I only got a $43 paycheck out of that. $9 an hour. 9 times 13 should equate to over 100, and I only got a fraction of that. The minimum wage is not what you think it is. I don't even fucking know anymore. I couldn't get a straight answer out of Google as to what the rate of income tax is, and now I'm starting to think you only get as much as what the government believes you're worth. If they don't want you to live, you might not see anything, but I got maybe a third of what I was supposed to get from that 13 hours of work. If I'm to believe that the current rate of income tax forces workers to surrender 2/3 of their wages, then the real minimum wage is somewhere in the neighborhood of $2.41 an hour. Even $15 an hour doesn't even make up that difference in what you're supposed to earn on minimum wage. So when bootlickers try to argue that we don't need to raise the wage and that $7.25 is good enough, yeah, maybe that would be the case if we weren't being crushed between the millstones of taxation and inflation. Fucking idiots. Lenin once said that in order to crush the bourgeoisie, that we would need to grind them between the millstones of taxation and inflation. But we're not the bourgeoisie, are we? We are the proletariat. We are the working people. The United States is not a socialist nation, and Joe Biden is not a socialist. He is a neoliberal, and the United States is a laissez-faire, free market capitalist nation. A free market, but unfree people. How can anyone deny this when people are busting their asses and barely scraping by? Pull your heads out of your asses and damn this system to oblivion. Ugh. This has been a bit of an event, I know. The past month has been eventful for me, as you have probably gathered. I have had things happen that have caused me to feel such anger that I don't think my own physical strength could contain it, if truly unleashed. I feel like I have been radicalized even further beyond how the summer transformed me. I feel like I could go Super Saiyan with red highlights. But I hope you guys enjoyed hearing me bitch. Maybe I opened your eyes not only to how the United States abuses its poor, but that capitalism is a cruel system, and that it shows with my support for socialism as someone who has suffered under the brunt of misfortune under capitalism. If you like this video, please be sure to click thumbs up, share the video far and wide, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe for more content like this. Be sure to click the bell to get notifications when I post a new video, and also, if you think my content is worth $3 a month, you can super subscribe by becoming a monthly contributor to my Patreon. Your support will help me keep a roof over my head, and eventually I can start putting back into my content, and even start giving back to the community. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll be back on Thursday or sooner for another video. Bye, guys.